Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So, my name is Terry Pirovolakis. Yasas. My background is from Horesfakia in Kriti, and I spent 20 years in IT building large infrastructure around the world, mostly in Latin America, and the Caribbean. And this is my beautiful family. That's my beautiful wife Georgia, my oldest daughter Zoe, my middle son Zach, and the grumpy baby is Michael. Um, Michael was born December 17, 2017, a normal, healthy birth, third child. We were home in 3 hours, and we thought we would continue our lives together as a cohesive family. On Around 5 months of age, we noticed Michael wasn't lifting his hands, he wasn't lifting his head, and he just wasn't reaching the milestones that normal children reach around that time. So we went to the doctor's office. They said that he looks a little bit like he has a little bit low muscle tone, and his head was at the 10th percentile for head growth. They said, "Don't worry, this kind of things happen. He'll overcome it." Um, at 6 months of age, we started going to physiotherapy. As you can see, Michael started reaching for things, and we noticed more and more that he was falling behind. So we were sent to a pediatrician's office. They diagnosed him with low muscle tone. He was at the fifth percentile by this point in head growth. And again, they told us, don't worry, we'll send you to Sick Kids in Toronto. We'll do some reviews and just make sure that nothing's wrong, but we think it'll be fine. At 8 months of age, as you can see in this little box, he's sitting up, and he continued progressing. So we were sent to infectious diseases. They thought maybe he contracted Zika at the time through my travels in Latin America. They did all the tests. They came back all negative. And again, he continued to progress, but his head continued not to. And he was at the third percentile by this point in time. At 10 months of age, we did an MRI. We did a pilgrimage to Greece, as you can see here, with my wife to Aegina and into the churches in Greece to pray for Michael to get better. And unfortunately, this was something we couldn't pray away. Um, at 12 months of age, we did all the panels. We did the MRI, and he was at the negative third percentile at this point for head growth. Again, he was pulling to stand and he was making progress, but he had something severely wrong with him that we didn't know what it was. And then on April 2nd of 2019, after an 18-month diagnostic odyssey, Michael was diagnosed with SPG 50. We were told, go home and love him. He'll never walk. He'll never talk. He'll be paralyzed from the waist down by the age of 10, quadriplegic by the age of 20, and he'll probably have a limited lifespan. I went home and I lost my mind, was crying in the street. My neighbor had to pick me up. And I decided that we had to do something. So 24 hours, I locked myself in this exact room, came out and realized that there was something that could be done. Gene therapy, ASOs, drug screening. There was all these new words, new acronyms, and but we needed $4.5 million at least to get Michael to this point. So, I started engulfing myself in everything humanly possible. I went to the NIH. I went to Sheffield, England, where there was an expert in gene therapy. And then I went to the ASGCT conference in Washington, and I met 6 of the 7 world experts in gene therapy. And I put up this wanted a cure for Michael poster around the conference to try to find people that could help me. A month and a day after Michael was diagnosed, we hired Dr. Gray and Dr. Sin Chen to make a gene therapy for Michael and the other children affected by this terrible disease. We then started fundraising. After liquidating our life savings, we realized even if we sold everything, including our home, we would never be able to afford the amount of work that was done. So we started doing galas and golf tournaments and lemonade stands and you name it, we did it. And we raised about $4.5 million, including the amazing Greek community, both in Greece and in Toronto, came together and supported us and helped us raise that significant amount of money. At this point, Michael was making gains. As you can see here, he's almost about to walk. But then a 3 hour seizure took away his ability to walk in any way. And unfortunately, he was at the time verbal and he became nonverbal after this terrible seizure. We then built the construct. Our vector design showed that we had some great promise. We tested in cells to prove that the gene therapy was working in cell culture, and then we showed that if you look at the unaffected animals, they do like a spread eagle, whereas affected animals do hind leg clasping, and we were able to show that with the gene therapy at a moderate dose, we could recover this hind leg clasping effect in animals. We then partnered with a company in Spain called Virogen to make the drug for Michael and the other children. We partnered with the companies and institutions you see on the screen. And on December 30th of 2021, Michael was the first child to receive this gene therapy, the highest dose ever given in a human being, which is scary and exciting at the same time. And here's a picture of the operating room of this crazy journey. And if you look at how we got there so quickly, we did tox studies while we were doing efficacy studies. We were doing manufacturing while we were doing tox studies. So if the tox study would have failed, we would have lost $4.5 million in all this work. But we didn't. We had a lot of luck and a lot of prayers along the way. And in under 3 years, Michael was treated. We then realized we had to do more, save more children. So we filed to the FDA. We got approval. We have since treated 11 children across Spain and the US. And it was, again, thanks to hundreds of people from around the world that got us there. We then formed Alpida Therapeutics, Hope in Greek. Michael's drug was called Melpida, Michael's Hope. And our goal was to run a nonprofit to save as many children as we can. We're now 7 employees and 20 consultants. We have a phase 3 starting next week across Spain and the US. For my son's disorder, we're opening up a site in Denmark, in the UK, and in Italy. And then we took on 2 more programs, CLN7 Battens and CMT4J. CLN7 Battens is starting next week to treat the first patient in that disorder. And then CMT4J will be in April of this year to treat 38 children across all 3 disorders, hopefully by the end of the year. And yeah, that's kind of the closed notes, and really appreciate everybody inviting me to be here. Thank you.